I think this is the single greatest application of AI I've ever seen in my entire life. It is basically, for me at least, a 24/7 AI employee that works for you at all times, doesn't need to sleep, doesn't need to eat, doesn't complain. It is constantly doing work for me and improving my business.
Okay. And so walk me through how you set it up and what you've been playing with that's impressed you.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a one-person business. I run my own SaaS that I built completely by myself, vibe coded with a Cursor like a year and a half ago. And I use this completely to manage my business and do work for me while I'm sleeping and do a lot of tasks I just don't have time to do. I basically said, listen, I'm a one-person business. I work from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, right? I need you to take as much off my plate as possible. I need you to be as proactive as humanly possible. Like, I don't need you waiting for my approval to do things. You just need to do things to make my life better. It said, sure, okay. I then brain dumped everything about myself I possibly could, about my YouTube channel, about my SaaS, about all my content, about everything I do, my personal life. And it said, okay, I know a ton about you. I'm going to get to work. What's really powerful about Clawdbot, it is the only self-improving AI there is. And what I mean by that, it has basically infinite memory. Let's just do a refresh here. I have like 5 going at the same time, so sometimes it needs, here we go. Is basically infinite memory. So every time you tell it something, it learns and it remembers it, and then it does different work or improved work based on that. And so the first proactive thing it started to do is send me a morning brief. And what this morning brief does is a few things. One, it researches my competitors on YouTube. So it went on my YouTube proactively without me asking, saw what my content was about, found other similar YouTube channels, and now in the morning brief, it tells me about videos they post that outperforms their other videos. So I know right when I wake up, if there are YouTube videos that are trending in my competitors, that's like an outlier for their performance. So, okay, I can create content based on that because it's working well for them. It gives me trending news based on what I'm interested in, right? It knows I'm interested in AI, it knows I make content in AI. It read the New York Times, it found other things that were trending, and it gives me ideas for content. But what has been the most powerful out of all this is it builds stuff for me while I sleep, right? And if I have a
Yeah, the stuff you just described is like a really good, like a smart assistant, a smart researcher, a chief of staff would say, hey, boss, hey, here's what our competitors are up to. Here's, some stuff that you should probably read. And yeah, I came up with a couple of ideas, or, our team came up with a couple of ideas. Now you've automated all that. Which means you're eliminating like the position of chief of staff here or top researcher.
And that's actually the job title I gave. So my Clawdbot's name is Henry, and I said, you're my chief of staff. So that's what it does. And AI ChatGPT gets you like 70% there of what I just described. The 30%, the extra 30% is the self-improving and the self-learning, right? Based on every message I send it 24/7, whether it's through the desktop or Telegram, it remembers that and includes it in all the morning briefs. But where this goes to the next level is the building. So this can use anything on your computer, any tool, any coding program, Claude Code, Codex, whatever. And so what it started doing for me is it started paying attention to trends and news and adding functionality to my SaaS based on what's trending. So for instance, if you've been paying attention to X, Elon's giving away $1 million to the top article these 2 weeks.
Yes, I did see that, yeah.
It saw this was trending. It saw this was like a big news story, and it actually built this article writer functionality inside my SaaS. So for those who don't know, I have a SaaS that helps you create content on X. So it actually created this article writer functionality in my SaaS because it saw articles were now a big thing on X.
So it came up, it discovered a trend on X. It then said, hey, this could be a feature. And then you had it add the feature into your product. Without your knowledge, did you approve it or?
So it created a pull request, right? So it wrote the code, created a pull request. I woke up, I got my morning brief and said, hey, I built functionality that might be helpful for Creator Buddy. Reviewed the pull request, tested it out, looked good, and I pushed it myself, right? So it's not completely off the rails doing anything at once, but it does things like, here's recommendations, here's some code I wrote, test it out, let me know what you think. And I was able to push it, and now it's live in the app.
Building out your team is one of the most crucial things you have to get right in your startup, and finding the right developers is particularly important. But now there's Lemon.io. They're going to save you time, money, and headaches by doing all the time-consuming legwork for you. They've got an experienced lineup of pre-vetted developers working for competitive rates. Just 1% of applicants are accepted into Lemon's elite program, and they're not just out there finding this great talent, they're also working with you to integrate these new members into your team. Plus, if it's not a good fit, hey, and sometimes things don't work out, Lemon will hook you up with a new developer ASAP. I've seen startups go from just pretty good to amazing after filling out their teams with developers from Lemon.io. Go to lemon.io/twist and find your perfect developer or technical team in 48 hours or less. Plus, Twist listeners get 15% off their first 4 weeks. That's lemon.io/twist, LEMON.io/twist.